Listening is one of the most underrated skills when it comes to leadership. And when you tell people that you have to listen more, you have to be very active in the way you listen. They think that it's just about hearing words, what people say, but that is not true. Listening is more about understanding what people say, interpreting it, and most importantly, responding in a way that brings clarity. If you don't understand this, it becomes very difficult for you to communicate as a leader. And in one of our episodes that we shared here, we talked about how listening is a crucial tip or is a crucial leadership skill for you to become a better leader or a great leader in your community or in your organization or wherever you are functioning. And I realized that so many people don't get the value, they don't know what it means for you to listen, for you to be very proactive in the way you resonate with people and get information so that you can interpret it to match what they want. And in today's episode, I want to break down that for you. I will give you a framework that if you use it the right way, listening becomes very much easier for you to do. And when you do that, it becomes very easy for you to trust people, for you to communicate with people, and most importantly, for you to lead. Because there is no way you're going to lead if you don't listen to people. It is a skill. So the first thing that you need to do to become a listener or a better one is active listening. What that means is you need to give your full concentration. You need to show the speaker that you are in conformity with what they are saying. You understand what they're saying. The speaker should not be talking and you're blinking your eyes, you're bringing some distraction. It always shows that you are not resonating with what they're saying, and it's difficult for someone to open up at that moment. You have to be very concentrated. Let them see that this person is really trying to understand what I'm saying. It might be difficult for them to communicate with you. Maybe they don't speak your language and they're trying to communicate. Then you're giving some signs that no, what you're saying doesn't make sense. So a good listener is someone who listens actively. The second thing is you need to stop interrupting people, right? Don't interrupt someone when that person is trying to pass a message. It shows that you disrespect that person. The moment I'm trying to communicate to you and you're interrupting me or trying to press your phone, trying to put on your dresses or something, that distraction shows that you disrespect me. So if you want to listen more attentively to someone, don't interrupt them when they are communicating to you. Give them your full concentration. That is a sign of respect and it builds trust in that very same moment. The next thing is listen with empathy, right? You need to understand people's emotion. People come to you with different perspectives, different personalities. It is your duty as a leader to demonstrate to them that, oh, I can empathize with your breakthroughs, I can empathize with what you're going through, and you can only show that by resonating with their emotions, right? If someone is talking to you while crying or while panicking, you have to be calm. I should not be giving out my frustration to you, how things are not moving on in my life, and you're there smiling and laughing. It doesn't make sense, right? So you need to be very empathetic in the way you communicate. And the good thing is once you do that, you can change somebody's life just by resonating with their emotion. Even if you're in a baddest mood, you have to resonate with other people's emotion if you are a leader. Because leadership is about responsibility. It's not about you. You are taking care of those who are in your charge, right? You are not in charge of them. You are not in charge of their lives. You are not there to give them authority around and just command them. No, you're there to be available, to be present, because that is what leadership is all about. The next thing that you have to do is ask clarifying questions. Don't ask questions because you want to challenge the speaker, because that is what so many people do. They just walk up to you and they ask questions to prove that what you're saying doesn't make sense. Rather, you should ask questions to clarify what the speaker is saying. That is what leaders do. They don't try to prove themselves, their worth, that, oh, I'm in a better leadership position, so I should be the one telling you what to do. And the questions that I ask you are to challenge you. No, you should ask questions to better understand what the speaker is saying. That is how leaders work. That is how you demonstrate your leadership. And the best format for you to do this is by summarizing what the leader said or the speaker said. If that speaker said something, I need you to do X and X for me, because if you do that, Y is going to work well for us. In order for you to demonstrate your leadership skill, you can ask, you said X and X did this, and in order for Y and Y to happen, we have to work very hard on X. From my own perspective, I understood that X has to go this way and Y has to come this way. Is that what you mean? That is the best way for you to communicate. That is summarizing and giving feedback, right? When you summarize things and ask questions, it becomes very much easier for that leader to communicate with you. Don't try to prove yourself. Don't try to prove a point. If you're always trying to prove a point, because I've seen this very common, right? You see a leader in a position where they just want to argue, right? No matter what you say, because you are the director. Oh, I'm the director here. Whatever I say stands. I'm the project manager. Whatever I say stays. That is not how leadership works. It works in the format of giving more attention to people and getting their feedback. What do they think? What do they prioritize? And what do you as the leader bring to them? Because if you don't learn that, it is more about responsibility. It becomes very difficult for you to become a leader. And one thing I need you to understand is this. In your leadership journey, it's going to be very challenging. But it can always be easier for you if you put things in place. And when I mean things, I mean systems in place that will give people the opportunity for them to listen and for you to give them feedback. Because as a leader, you have to listen more, which is very underrated in today's economy and how we work in our different organizations or associations. You have to be a good listener. And if anything I've shared with you today resonated, if it sparked a thought, a question, or even just a feeling, then hit the subscribe button and click that like button. That shows that what we're doing here makes a difference, and that is the free way, the simple way that you can support everything that we do here. And we deeply appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Cheers.